What's up, Rocks? Welcome back to All the Castles, a show where we visit all the castles in the UK. Today we're here at MIllom Castle. I presume it's this building behind me.
Yeah.
In fact, you can see where it's the castle just there. You can see like stone bricks and that. It's very near to the Holy Trinity Church. I don't know what branch it's for.
But it's Protestant.
I do. It's Protestant, okay, and it's in the Lake District near Broughton.
Yeah.
We've got some nice scenery around here, lots of hills, and a nice house there. Must be a lovely place to live. And got a peaceful graveyard that continues along over there.
Well, as you can see, we're in MIllom Castle, and we're actually in the churchyard because MIllom Castle is private property now. It's, I think, still owned by the Lowther family, but it's farmed by tenants called Park. And they do occasionally allow guided tours here, but not today, and I'm not sure how frequently they happen. But it enters recorded history in 1134 when King Henry I gave the manor of Milham to somebody called Goydard de Boyville, and he's thought that he built the first castle on this site. But the earliest part you can see here, this dates from 1355 when Edward III gave licence to crenellate to John de Huddlestone. Now, the Huddlestones came here when the last de Boyville heiress married a Huddlestone in 1240. And the Huddlestones had it then for about 500 years. The Huddlestones were Yorkists, so this came under attack in 1460 from the Lancastrians. And then John de Huddlestone fought at the Battle of Bosworth for Richard III, but he survived and was later pardoned and allowed to resume ownership of the castle under Henry VII. And I'm hoping we can see his tomb, which is still in the church there, a bit later on. Now, the castle, as I said, is there's still pretty much an intact shell. There's no floors, there's no roofs, but you can pick out the kitchen and the undercroft and the Great Hall. And the church did a wonderful video about the castle by two lovely young ladies, Melissa and Rebecca Bell, and if Simon tells me how to do it, I'll link to their video at the end. The castle was attacked again in the English Civil War because the Huddlestones were Catholics and therefore supported the Royalist cause, so the parliamentarians knocked it about a bit. In 1644 it was repaired when the Civil War was over, but by 1739, when there's a print, it looked to be decaying again. And in, I think it was 1740, Elizabeth Huddleston sold it to Sir James Lowther. And Sir James Lowther, the Earl of Lonsdale, was mainly responsible for developing mining in Milham, and the town developed over there, and as you can see they've got a new church, and this one became isolated. This is really all that there was of Milham until Sir James got going, but then the church was inconveniently sited, so now it's just a quiet little hamlet. There is a board here telling you a bit about the castle, but it's very faded.
Let me give it a go.
I hope you've... right, go, Simon.
You are standing on the southern edge of a moat, a large flooded ditch that in the past surrounded the heart of the vast estate of the medieval lords Milham Castle. Is that Mesgen or something? Lord of yeah, who cares?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we do care, but you can, as I say, it needs a bit of a spruce up.
It's better if we just tell you instead of read it off a board.
Okay, so we'll now just take a look at the... Oh, I should mention here, the parks actually live in that central tower. Now, it's not generally thought that that tower is as old as the walls here, because the cladding rather obscures the stonework, but it's mainly thought that that is 15th century in origin, whereas this is 13th century. But we're not too sure. It could actually be as late as the 17th century. And there is, you can't see it that well just here, but that's the remains of the gatehouse, and those steps leading up to it are 17th century. So here we're looking across to the southern wall, and if you look over here, this is the remains of the moat separating the castle from the church. You can't trace it all the way round, but here you can see the line, and it is still a bit wet, so a bit of medieval water remaining perhaps. And yeah, you can see on this side that the wall is beginning to cave in, but round the other side there are a lot of doorways and windows which are fully intact. I mean, there's no wood or glass, but the full framework, stone framework, is visible. And yeah, if you do get a chance to come on a guided tour, I think it probably would be worth it. That there isn't quite enough for them to justify an admission charge, so you know it just isn't quite worth them opening it up. Okay, because the church is so connected to the castle, we are going to cover it a little bit, especially because of who's buried in here. The church, some of it is 11th century. It's been restored a lot, but some of it still goes back, to the 12th century. We have been allowed to look around the church, but there is a bit of a parish meeting going on, so I'm having to be quiet. This is the main parts of the church, the nave, and these pillars, they're very old, and these are Norman in origin, so that's a wonderful sight. Would you not agree, Simon? Simon would. And I think this might be Sir John's tomb. Go and have a look. Right, this is the tomb of Sir John Huddleston. It is covered by sort of modern candles and lighters at the moment, but you can see the family crests of arms on the sides and at the head. Sir John died in 1494. As I said, he had been pardoned by Henry VII following Bosworth, and I think that probably means that he didn't take part in Lambert Simnel's rebellion, which of course passed through these parts, so he would have had a decision to make there. And over here you've got the tomb of his son, Sir Richard Huddleston, who actually died a year before him. And his wife, Margaret, was an illegitimate daughter of Warwick the Kingmaker, and that made her the sister-in-law, or half-sister-in-law, I suppose, of Richard III. And they were all the Huddlestons were present at the coronation of Richard III and Queen Anne, so I suppose they were always going to support the Yorkists.
Alright, Rooks. The Normans are going to harry the north again, so I need to go and sort that out. I'll leave you with a nice impressive view of this side of the castle. And this will be my first time trying out a new shot technique. Would you look at that? It works. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you in our next video. Bye bye.